How to spot a good landscaper. People talk a lot about bad landscapers and rogue traders and all the terrible things that happen in gardens, but nobody really praises the good guys. And so how do you spot a good guy? Well, it all starts from the very beginning. The phone call that you make to them when they're talking to you. Do they answer politely? Do they speak nicely? Do they make you feel welcome? Are they generally just being nice to you? That's number one thing. They should be able to accommodate multiple time slots for you to see them, or sorry, for them to see you. And when they show up, they should be pretty well on time. But if they're not on time, that's fine. As long as they let you know they're not going to be on time, then that's also not a bad sign. So they show up on time, give you a nice smile and a handshake, walk around your garden. The first thing I always do when I see a garden is I don't ever go through the house. Number one, I've usually got muddy boots on, but that's not the main reason. That's just my excuse. Is I want to check the side access, because if they don't check the side access, they're not doing a thorough job, because the side access makes the difference between a wheelbarrow getting around the back of the garden or a digger or a dumper. So the width of that access and the steepness, sometimes steps, is super important. So if they walk through the house and they don't look at the access, that's a bad thing. But every good landscaper will start by walking around, checking the side access. Now when they're looking around, what they'll do is a good landscaper will ask you what you want to get out of the garden. They won't just try and hard sell you things. Oh no, you got to have that, you got to have that. It's about what you want. They can guide you, but a good landscaper will always listen to you and then recommend from there on, once he can get his head around what you're actually after out of your garden. A good landscaper never usually asks for a budget. They just want to know what you want out of it. If you talk about budget straight away, and if they talk about money straight off the bat, that's probably not a great sign unless you initiate that conversation. A good landscaper will give you a ballpark price, but as I've said before, it'll probably be lower than what they actually price, so just be aware of that. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if they ballpark it and then go over. But so everything's about being communicative and on time. If everything feels on time and they're communicating well, that's a good sign. And then also when the quote comes through, if they say, I'm going to give you that quote by the end of the week, then it should come by the end of the week. They're not going to just ghost you. That's also a sign of a good landscaper. And also the usual things. When you get the quote, just have a look at the way it's arranged, the way it's laid out. You can tell someone who's organised by their quote. If the quote's organised and detailed, not too detailed, just detailed enough, then you can tell you're going to get a really transparent, professional job out of this person. So those are the things I think to look out for a good landscaper.